One small subsequent project we're working in relation to Elle is with the Lavender Effect, and we're working on an oral history project with them, where their whole mission is to archive and collect and record video testimonies and stories from people in the community, and they don't have a non-binary oral history project.
Yeah.
So we're working with them to get a lot of the pioneers and the influencers and the activists and people who are vocal in this community to record their story, so we have a record of it, because that's how we all continue to learn and grow and educate ourselves, and then those can go into schools. But the environment that you're raised in is so important.
Yeah.
And you know, we're very fortunate to be in LA, where it tends to be more open-minded, but you know, we want this film to get to the small towns, because those kids exist.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. Way more than you probably know, because people are so scared to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because of the fear of the backlash that they have for that. I just saw today, and I wish I could remember his name. A transgender boy in America killed themselves because their school refused to call them by their transition name.
Yeah.
And that misgendering was so painful that it led this kid to kill himself.
Yeah. You know, it's just respect the person, you know, and just how is that hurting you by respecting what they want to be called? Or
why do you think that is? Why do you think people lash out at anything that they think is so different? I mean, that's such a vague question, I guess, but like, because it's true, like, and that's what doesn't make sense to me, because it makes sense that if you want to walk down the street in a dress and makeup, and that doesn't matter.
No.
You know, live your truth. I think people should need to be as free as they can to be as authentic and beautiful as they are.
Yeah.
Which is really what we want to do with Elle, is show that authentic character living their life, living that fluid life.
And owning it and being accepted for it, and meeting a cisgender, straight, white male who develop a beautiful friendship.
A beautiful, beautiful friendship. That was another
and it's
thing.
so important.
Yeah, that was another thing too that a lot of people in the community came back at us with was, oh, if you're going to tell a story with a gender fluid character, it should be from that gender fluid character's point of view. But our film, I feel like, is trying to create that inclusive story within a cisgendered context. Yeah. Because that's really the community that we need to open up their eyes. Yeah. So introducing that in a cisgender friendly way.
It's very important.
I think it is. Otherwise, it becomes too niche. Yeah. You know, and we have to create it for a mass audience. Yeah. Which is what we've done with our script. It's what we've done with everything. With the marketing for the film and the team that we're putting together for the film. It's all to tell that trans-friendly, inclusive, loving story about becoming a better ally to one another. Because at the end of the day, that's what we need. We need to be better and stronger allies for one another, whether you're in the LGBTQIA community or not. What we're trying to do is create a fun narrative film that encourages audiences to go educate themselves, learn about transgender, learn about all these different gender identities, learn what that means, learn, you know, how that, you know, just educate yourself. Go meet somebody, go to, you know, whatever, educate yourself. And I think that is a huge part of it, is people aren't educated on gender and how to, you know, best talk to somebody about gender and have a conversation about it, and so they block it off.
They block and they're like, they immediately judge it, and they're like, oh, that's a weirdo, whatever, and they're like, freak. But then it's like, if you just took 2 minutes out of your life and actually just like, you know, talked to a person who is in the trans umbrella or LGBT, and I meet a lot of people sometimes, they're like, oh, can you please try to make me understand, what is this going on? Like, do you want to be a woman or a man? And I'm just like, it's like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. Like, I'm Dani David. Who are you? Okay, and like, I can see that you're very straight looking, you know, whatever, and comfortable in your, maybe not, you know, but comfortable in your sexuality. But I like to educate, like I told you at the audition. Like, when I meet people, they're like, they don't understand me, I'm like, let's, you know, while we're having this cigarette at the bar, whatever, let's talk, you know. And I always, and then after that conversation, they're like, they're the ones who wants to add me on Facebook or like become friends with me. Like I have a lot of straight friends. I have a lot of some homophobic. They used to be homophobic friends that I turned around by being who I am. And that's why it's so important that we have Will and Elle in this movie. That Will is showing. It's basically representing that community that doesn't understand what's going on. Is he a transgender, or what's going on with this character? And through this movie, like it's gonna really, I think, change a lot of people's minds.
I think so too.
Look at it.
I think so too, and I think what we've done well, and I think what our amazing screenwriter Marta has done incredibly well, is to have this story in a fun way that is not at all preachy. It doesn't sound like we're shoving a bunch of knowledge, whatever, down your throat. It's very natural how the story unfolds and how the relationship and the friendship unfolds, without drawing, overwhelming attention to it. It's a fun story. It's a great story about friendship and educating yourself and being a better person. And I think we could use a lot more of films like that.